Hey you're watching a clip from the DynamiteGizmo podcast. This is not the full episode, but if you want to see the full episode, make sure to click the link in the description. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Do it now. Here's the clip. Now we're going to move on to the next segment of the day, which is Justin Gaethje, as he likes to call himself. And goddamn, there's a lot you can say about Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is 25-5-0. He has 14 bonuses in the UFC, which puts him third all-time among active fighters for the most bonuses earned. All but 2 of his UFC fights have earned him either Performance of the Night bonus, Fight of the Night, or both in the same night. Now, back in 2020, he won the interim lightweight title against Tony Ferguson after Khabib had to vacate. Later that same year, he lost the unification bout to Khabib Nurmagomedov. And that's what makes this moment so interesting. If Justin Gaethje wins this weekend, he will become the only fighter in UFC history to ever claim 2 interim titles. Now, outside of the UFC, Gaethje was the World Series of Fighting champion with 5 title defenses and an undefeated 17-0 run. In the UFC, he is 9-5, and his only losses have come to absolute legends of the sport: Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dustin Poirier, and Eddie Alvarez. Gaethje was also the BMF champion after knocking out Dustin Poirier in round 2 at UFC 291. He then lost the BMF title to Max Holloway at UFC 300, where we witnessed one of the greatest knockouts in UFC history, may have even been the best. It was a historic night, the 300th event. The BMF title on the line, final 10 seconds of the 5th round. Max Holloway points to the center of the octagon. They both step forward. They collide with wild, violent exchanges. And in the final second of the final round, Max lands an overhand right. Justin Gaethje drops face first into the canvas. A picture-fucking-perfect moment. That moment also gave birth to Max Holloway's new signature move, pointing to the center of the octagon. And honestly, it feels like he's going to have to do it every fight from here on out. But I guess we'll find out in March when he goes up against Charles Oliveira. Now listen, even though Justin got knocked out, that moment never happens if Gaethje doesn't decide to put everything on the line in that exact second. So he deserves just as much credit for that moment as Max does. There's a reason Gaethje has nearly as many bonuses as he does fights. It's because he throws down like nobody else. The man is fully capable of grappling. Many people have said he's actually excellent at it, and that is his background, but Gaethje doesn't care. And Joe Rogan said it best: in a sport that's already known for violence, Justin Gaethje stands out as the most violent fighter of them all. He's there to fight, not grapple, and to put on the most violent performance as possible. And look, sure, we don't have Arman in this fight, we don't have Ilya, but look at what we do have. A potential future UFC superstar against the embodiment of violent chaos in Justin Gaethje. There is no doubt in my mind that this card is going to deliver. And specifically, this fight is going to deliver. Now, leading up to this fight, before anything was announced, and before Ilya vacated the title, Gaethje made it very clear: if he wasn't next in line for a title shot, he was going to retire. Most people didn't take that seriously, mainly because he was coming off a 1-fight win streak against Rafael Fiziev in a rematch And that fight only happened because Dan Hooker had to pull out for breaking his goddamn hand. Which, by the way, I still can't believe we didn't get Gaethje versus Hooker. That would have been an absolute fucking war. It would have been Poirier versus Hooker all over again. Maybe even better. Now, there is a world where if Gaethje wins the title and somehow manages to defend it, which probably won't happen, we could finally see Dan Hooker get his title shot against Gaethje. And honestly, against Gaethje, he has a real chance at winning the title. But that's extremely wishful thinking. If Gaethje wins this fight, I think he sticks around for a few more fights, or at least until he loses. Then he retires. But if he loses this fight, I genuinely believe this is the end of his run. At this stage, there's no chance he gets another title shot, especially after openly saying he would retire if he wasn't next, and especially at the age he's currently at. Dana White said that after this weekend, the boys are getting together to matchmake the entirety of the White House card, which I have a clip here where he states that. I don't know if he said entirety, but he said they're definitely getting together after this weekend to figure it out. So let's see.
Saturday.
Yeah.
When this fight ends, Monday, we will be matchmaking. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be building the White House card. I think we'll have it dialed in by the second week of February.
Wow.
We'll have everything dialed
Done.
in. Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard the new talk is that Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal could be a potential.
No, I
What's your
didn't hear
thoughts?
that.
Oh, you haven't heard this?
No.
This is the biggest thing on social media now. Everyone's talking. Yeah, that Chandler's out and Masvidal's in, and it's Conor and Masvidal.
You know what's funny? So in my algorithm on Instagram, I have nothing MMA.
Right?
Literally nothing MMA. I don't listen to any of the goofy
No.
that go. No.
Is that considered goofy?
That's goofy shit. Yeah.
That's goofy shit, he says. McGregor and Masvidal, but we're not talking about that. So he's confirmed that after this weekend, they're figuring out the White House card, and by the second week of February, they'll probably have it all figured out. So if we're not getting Conor versus Masvidal, who should Conor fight? Well, our good old pal Ali Abdelaziz has an idea. Why the fuck did it take me so long to figure that name out? I know the name. Of course I know the name. I've said it lots. Ali Abdulaziz. Damn, dude. Why do these guys have to have these names, brother? But Ali has an idea. Let's see what he says.
Who do you think will be next for Justin Gaethje if he wins the belt this weekend?
Ilya Topuria.
Ilya Topuria? Because we got obviously Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway.
If Ilya Topuria don't want, he should be stripped and should fight Justin who fight Arman Saruki. Or screw the interim belt, grudge match, June 14, America's 250th birthday, Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor. What about that?
You think it's just so many possibilities, man.
But you understand? America's birthday, bring an Irish drunk guy to the White House, make sure he doesn't have any drugs on him or cocaine, fight Justin Gaethje, fight Conor, been running for all his life. But I think right now Conor's, I think right now he doesn't have options. Or he can do whatever he wants, but I would love to see this fight. And I think, listen, I might not like Conor, but I think Conor was at one point he was a really, really good fighter. And I cannot take this away from him.
Okay. So Ali thinks Justin Gaethje should fight Conor. That's a little wild, don't you think? Now, Ali is Gaethje's manager, if you didn't know. along with many other fighters. So can he make it happen? I have no fucking idea. But none of this happens if Gaethje loses. And if Gaethje loses, the plan to make Paddy a superstar gets washed. Sorry. If Gaethje wins, the plan to make Paddy a superstar gets washed down the drain. Now, my friends, there's a lot on the line here. Even though this wasn't the matchup any of us wanted or expected, the outcomes that come from this are massive in so many different directions. It's going to determine so many different things. And more specifically, it's going to determine the biggest card of the year, potentially the biggest card ever, i.e. the White House card on June 14th, Donald Trump's birthday. So let me ask you, if this really is Justin Gaethje's last title run, do you want to see him go out swinging like this? Or should the UFC have given the shot to someone younger like Arman instead?
Tap here to watch the full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast.